Welcome to Pembrey in the southwest corner of Wales. This is Thundersport Plus, the programme on Thundersport GB that features one of the particular series each time. This time it's going to be the LMB Street Fighters. Three classes out there, classes A, B and C. The most power available for Class A, the least for Class C. Guess what? Class B, somewhere in the middle. It's been some great battles in all three classes all year long. This weekend set to be very much more of the same. Fascinating qualifying session, Steve.
Yes, sorry, just having a little look at what Andy Denya's got on his tank there. You never really know with Andy Denya, so I was a little bit concerned to begin with. There's Mick Riddle, third position on the grid, and Barry Utting, the defending Street Fighter B champion. But yeah, three categories in this, and sometimes we get an equal match here and there. We get some interesting battles in the Street Fighter C class, which is of course for mainly Supermoto derived machines. But on pole position, Mr. Potato Head. Yep. And there's no doubt in my mind that that was a jump start for Keith Smith. I will keep my eyes on the timing screens, but he looked like he'd gone before everybody else.
I'm not quite sure what was going on there, but he really did make the big leap, didn't he? Andy Denya next to him on the grid, of course, both of them Street Fighter A's. Then, a rare occasion, Steve, Mick Riddle got up there on pole, ahead of Barry Utting, who's been fairly ubiquitous in Street Fighter B. He's taken most of the race wins and most of the poles all year, but a superb performance by Mick Riddle.
Yep, absolutely. Nice to have Mick back with us. There's a shot of Mark Lum, who, well, it's just come up on our screens. Keith Smith, number 40, 10-second jump start penalty, and number 8, Mark Lum, also 10-second jump start penalty. So not a good start for them. Keith Smith's pace, well, he needs to now get out front and try and blast away.
Yes, it should be, in that respect, he'll be not happy at all, but from our point of view, it will be quite interesting because he will be absolutely steaming along trying to negate that 10-second penalty. Look at this, Brad Davey, number 14 there, Street Fighter C, just ahead of Tony Hughes. That has been the battle at the head of Street Fighter C for the entire year, and they're at it again as the Meerkat, Andy Denya, just settles himself into hatchets in the lead with Keith Smith behind him.
Here's number 32, Adam Palfreman. He is, well, certainly a regular in Thundersport GB, but has not been in the Street Fighters before. He's on a Suzuki 650B class. Another new entry for this weekend is, of course, Jason Markham, number 66 on Yamaha 350. He's in the C class. There's the Meerkat, number 33, Andy Denya, 2009 Street Fighter A champion, ahead of Mr. Potato Head, number 40 in second. All we need now is Woody, and we've got the full cast of Toy Story.
Oh, we've got Barry Utting instead. He's up in the third place of leading Street Fighter B with Mick Riddle and Adam Palfreman right there with him. There he is, look at him, flat on the tank, Utting. Barry flat on the tank. He really has the most amazing riding style. Sponsored, of course, by Penrith Motorcycles, one of the loyalist sponsors in motorcycle racing. And up the front, look at that, just snaking into hatchets there. Andy Denya on the Triumph. When I arrived at the circuit the other day, Steve, Andy Denya was standing outside, he was clutching his hand. He'd actually taken a bit of a tumble, I think, in testing, and given himself a bit of a sorting out, but it doesn't seem to be affecting his performance now.
No, he's a very talented rider, is Mr. Denya. He certainly can ride his way around quite a few problems. Of course, didn't have a successful Snetterton after taking a trip to the kitty litter and damaging his bike in the process. A little bit further behind, there was number 63, Bob Docker.
Yep, good to see Bob back up and racing. And Smithy, look at him going for it now. Remember, he has this 10-second penalty, so he just needs, it doesn't really matter what position he finishes in, as long as, that is to say vis-a-vis Andy Denya, as long as he can stretch it at the front and perhaps put a good chunk of that 10 seconds on everyone else, and that will sort of work off his 10-second penalty, as it were. Mick Riddle, though, really carrying the fight in Class B to Barry Utting. Barry not finding us as comfortable as he might like.
No, well, it's nice to see them both out on circuit, of course, because Barry Utting has been obviously dominant in the championship. At Mallory, Barry Utting had a big crash, and unfortunately, that then meant that Mick Riddle wasn't able to continue the battles with him. He went on to win all the races. Mick then got called out on duty at Snetterton, so wasn't able to attend, and Barry Utting did very well. So they're both out on circuit. Mick Riddle, of course, for the RAF Reserves, so that's who he gets his backing from. And there are the leaders. Andy Denyer leading from Keith Smith, who has that 10-second jump start penalty. So that, at the moment, would put him back in 4th position.
Yes, I think he needs to keep pressing, yes, because he could, that could change, because the Class B battle between Nigel Davis and Adam Porfman is raging down there, and if they pick up a little more pace, Smithy could lose out some more, so we'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, Mick Riddle is absolutely punishing along, and he's right with Barry Utting there. There we see Brad Davey. Brad in Street Fighter C, and he's dropped slightly away, I think, from Tony Hughes there.
Yes, Tony back with us this weekend after being absent from Snetterton. He's got a few points and to make up again. He still leads the championship. Is Keith Smith now going to line up a move? Every single lap so far, we've seen Keith have the inside line into Hatchett's hairpin with Denyer on the outside. Will it all be changed now? Not looking likely, is it?
No, but they are pushing each other with fastest laps and fastest laps. I think Smithy's got it at the moment, and that's what he needs to ensure that his finishing place improves. And Mick Riddle gets past Barry Utting momentarily because he runs wide on the exit of Hatchett's, but for just a moment there, glory was his. He was leading Street Fighter B, but Barry Utting, having none of that, moves back into 3rd overall.
Yes, they just make their way past Mark Lum there around the S's before they head into Brooklands, and Barry will be pleased with the competition. He has always said that he wants a good scrap till the end, and well, he's actually... Oh! Maybe not a scrap like that.
Not quite as close, maybe.
No, but Barry is the Thundersport GB rider with the most wins ever. He's got more wins than any other rider in any other class, so a great rider, and he's been with us since day one. He started off in the 250 GP Championship with us, always been supported, as you said, by Penrith Motorcycles, and last year's Street Fighter B champion, trying to defend his title this year.
Well, he's only had 2 DNFs after his fall at Mallory this entire season, and only once, indeed, at the first round did he not pick up a race win. He had a 2nd, so he's won all the other races. It's a fantastically competitive performance by Barry Utting, and the great thing is, it is exactly that. It provides a great measure for everybody else. If you want to win, you've got to beat Barry.
Absolutely, yeah. I just, well, Andy Denyer, unfortunately, just having a little bit of a mare into Hatchett's, and he's lost out on 1st position. So Smithy's now passed. Be interesting to see if he can now put a gap on Andy Denyer. He certainly needs to with that 10-second penalty. And just as I say that, Robin, Keith Smith fans, myself being one of them, yeah, more bad news has been heaped on him. He's not only got a 10-second penalty on this last lap for a jump start penalty, but he's got another 10-second penalty for a yellow flag infringement.
Oh, Smithy, you'll be disappearing.
Perhaps we should give him another 10-second penalty for being short. And then that's the lot, that's the hat-trick.
Except that he'd be getting out at every round. No, surely not. Well, Andy Denyer at the moment up there. And there's Tony Hughes, number 35. He currently leads Street Fighter C. Unusually, there hasn't been a real close head-to-head battle at the top of Street Fighter C. So Tony Hughes is having his fun by mixing it with the guys who are in 3rd and 4th place in Street Fighter B. There we look back. There's 2nd in Class C. That's Brad Davey.
Yes, 3rd in Street Fighter C at the moment. Keith Warren ahead of Jason Markham and Gary Paul.
Smithy out the front on that beautifully prepared Aprilia. Check the flag out. And the win going to Andy Denyer. So not what you might see across there because of those penalties. There's Andy. He will take the race win. Yes, and thoroughly well deserved after getting a bit of a banging around in testing. So Andy Denyer wins from Barry Utting. Mick Riddle in 3rd. Keith Smith eventually placed 4th with those penalties included. Nigel Davis 5th, Adam Porfman 6th. And there we see the podium for Street Fighter C. Keith Warren finished 3rd. Brad Davey was 2nd. And Tony Hughes was the winner. There we see Street Fighter B, and Nigel Davis finished third to Mick Riddle, and the winner, Barry Utting. And in Street Fighter A, third place Steve Bradbury, second Keith Smith, and the winner, Andy Denyer.
Street Fighter A winner, Andy Denyer. That was a great race. What do you think of it?
Well, cheating Northern Monkey. There's nothing else I could do. I just followed him home for second. Took it easy.
Hung back and won the race. Who'd you like to thank, Andy?
I'd like to thank Nick and Alistair for coming, Terry Harris for putting a new engine in my bike after that crash at Snetterton, and Destination Triumph, and Gareth who did the decals. The Brute decals are really good. They really stand out. So I'd like to thank Gareth and everyone else who helps me along. Thanks a lot.
Well done, mate. Well done. Barry Utting, Street Fighter B winner. Was it a good race for you, Barry?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. We had good weather today, and Mick Riddle was pushing me quite hard, and he got by once, but I had a bit of luck with the back markers really and got ahead of him.
Brilliant. Have you got anybody to thank?
Just Penrith Motorcycles for turning out the best CBR.
Excellent. Well done, Barry. Tony, regular protagonist up here. Was that a good race for you?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was able to tag on to a couple of the Street Fighter Bs near the end, caught them up, and made a good three-way battle, which I thought was going to get the better of one of them at the end, but it was just a bit too much for me. They were just a little bit quick down the straight. So, but really enjoyed it. Got a buzz again after yesterday, but yesterday was a bit drab for me, but today was just that was what racing was all about. It's great.
Excellent. Well done, Tony. And you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank girlfriend Susan again. She's there again for me, you know, she's the only person that's helping me at the moment, even though I could do with a bit more. But no, that's fine.
Excellent. Well done, Tony. Thank you very much.